And also we have the word of the day, which is non-orel, which is a person or all right, good job. All right, let's have the speaker number one. So we're going to have Andres, and he's going to be speaking for 5 to 7 minutes, and he's going to get the show started. Okay. Give it a applause.
All right, thank you. Have you ever wondered how many people are out there having multiple businesses and still having the best free time for them? Have you ever wondered how they do it? I'm going to show you simple steps that actually is going to give you access to some of those things. My name is Andres Hurtado. I started as a systems engineer about 20 years ago. And for 10 years, I spent my time running consulting businesses like Project Works. But about 10 years ago, I got an experience to really be in the space to create a call center. When I created a call center, I started with one person. Then I test. Did it work? Yeah, that works. Then I got 5, then I got 10, then 20, then 30. So all this happens in a process of about 3 months. So in 3 months, I got the process to have 85 employees. And when I got the opportunity is to be in the distinction of how your life could be better if you have a team behind you. Because many people really are having the challenge of change of how they operate the business, but working in the business, but not working on the business, which is totally different. It's a way that actually we have the opportunity to bring more people in our teams and start delegating. How many of you would like to get that step-by-step process that actually I discovered? I'm going to show you how to grow your business and build the freedom and the lifestyle that you would like to have. How many like to have? Fantastic. So it was very easy to find out. It was really a lot of struggle, but I would like to get this. Write this down. Outsourcing equals freedom. Write it down. Outsourcing equals freedom. How much your time worth is a basic equation. Is how much you make, what's your revenue, or what's your total income of the year, divided by the number of hours that you spend. That's basic. But that formula has been flawed. It's really no longer about a conversation. We have a conversation about to become a serial entrepreneur. How to grow your business and get the lifestyle and the freedom that you want to have. So step number 1, write this down. Step number 1 is create a recurring revenue stream by a product or service. Let me repeat again. Create a recurring revenue generated by a product or service. Step number 1. So what I mean by that is find out something that actually you sell once and you get paid month after month after month after month without necessity of being selling every single month. That's the step number 1. The step number 2. Everybody get that? The step number 2. Identify what is the process. what needs to get done first in your business, so you can create a workflow process. That's exactly how I started my career as a systems engineer, is identify the processes that must be taken care of first. So that's step number 2. How identify in your business what needs to get done first. Why? Create a workflow around that. Step number 3. Strategically choose what must be delegated or outsourced. Strategically choose what must be delegated or outsourced. What I mean by that is that that's the process that actually many entrepreneurs have the really challenge to change. That nobody else can do better than I. And then is the resistance to really delegate. That actually you can delegate what you have, is in your process, to give it to somebody else to get it done for you. It's strategically change what must be delegated or outsourced. Okay? So how many we are? 3 or 3? Okay? 4. Empower your team. So leverage technology. When you have the opportunity to delegate and empower those processes, you will have the opportunity to empower a team. And the step number 5 is financial freedom. Do whatever you want, when you want, with who you want, because you want to do it. Anytime. So following those 5 steps is really important key to get access how to grow your business and get the freedom lifestyle that you deserve. How many of you are entrepreneurs that would like to have a personal assistant? So that's a key for many of entrepreneurs that actually they don't leverage what we got to do. So the last thing that I want to give you in the step number 2, when you get your process is IAGs, which stands for Income Generator Activities. Income Generator Activities. So this is kind of really a assignment that I would like to give you is create a list of all of the processes that you have in your business and put in the title, Income Generating Activities. On the right side, you're going to decide what tasks you have in your business. And circle those that you want to start delegating. So when you get the opportunity to say, as an entrepreneur, my job number 1 as an entrepreneur is being in the space of marketing. It's not being busy. Because busy equals broke. You want to find a way how to become productive. And to become productive is to be strategic and provide value to your team, provide value to your business instead of being functional. So if you'd like to get more information about that, just send me a text code to the name, text Andres. What are you gonna text? Andres to the number 22828. If you send me that text, I'll send you more information about how to create leverage and how to grow your business and how to get the freedom and lifestyle that you deserve. Thank you so much.
Wow, talk about, having tips and action steps. I just feel so clear. I love it. All right, so right now we're going to go to our next speaker. We have Miguel. Let's give him a strong round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you, Andres. Hello, Toastmasters, guys. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Is it good evening or good afternoon?
Good evening. Late afternoon.
It could be. Today I just got out of work and I'm kind of spaced out. However, let's set something at hand. Keep the main thing the main thing. Have anybody here heard that phrase, keep the main thing? The main thing? Well, simply put is keep focus. Keep focus on what you started. And let me just look at examples. I'm going to give you three that some of you already touched in the past. But let's say a mountain climber, just to pick one, decides that he wants to climb Mount Everest. So in order for him to reach that top, to reach the very top, his goal, he is focused, he prepares. He looks at his diet, he eats well, he does a study what's going to take every step, that he achieves in order to go forward. He also studies. He studies every other aspect. So when he reaches, he's prepared. But what is in his mind? His mind is focused on the main goal, which is to reach the top. Now, lastly, let's touch on an example, because people like to use Steve Jobs. Now, would it surprise you to know that Steve Jobs did not want to change the world? He did not want to do that. That's not intention. He didn't say, I want to wake up in the morning and I just want to change the world. I want to be the biggest guy in the world. No. He just went out there and did something he loved. He focused. This is the main thing. I want this. Supposing in your eyes, they came up with some invention that they wanted to take to the next level. It was 2 + 2 equals 4. So they say, oh no, we want to something. That's okay, let's go to 16. So in other words, he kept perfection. His main focus was the main thing. And as time went on, he got so good that nobody knew the product better than him. So that's why he became the #1 in his company. So it doesn't matter who made or how many people got into this industry, he knew it. As soon as there was something else, he was there talking about it because he knew there's something from top to bottom, from left to right. Now, Steve Jobs says everybody loves Steve Jobs, and I myself, I'm a big fan. Of course, he did change the world, but that was his focus. That was not his focus. Another good example would be Colonel Sanders. Has everybody heard Kentucky Fried Chicken? This is a senior who was in the Army. He was in the Armed Forces. He retired when they asked him to retire. So without knowing what he was going to do with his free time, he said, supposing the story goes that he tried insurance, to sell insurance. He tried other things. Up until he feels so much that he said, oh, listen, I got a recipe on how to reach the world. His focus was to sell it. He didn't realize it was going to become a chain. That everybody was going to end up knowing his chicken. Supposedly he knocked on over 1,000 doors. 1,000 doors before the first one says, yeah, I'll try it. 1,000 doors, I would have given up on 30. Yeah, he really loved his chicken, he wanted everybody to do it. So what his focus was, is I want everybody to have my chicken. No, his focus was, okay, I'm going to take this recipe, I want everybody to try this. Successfully, he became who he was. Of course, like Vince mentioned, when he got to that point, he used his team because then he leveraged and he duplicated what's going to happen. So at that point, he became who he is. Why? Because he kept the main thing. He went for it. That's what he wanted to do. Perfect the chicken. Okay? It sounds very simple, but that's really what it's perfect the chicken recipe. Another big one, and I don't remember, his first name was Mr. Hunter. This is Japanese who used to work for Yamaha, and they fired him because supposedly he didn't perform a good job. He didn't perform a good job working as an engineer. So when he comes out, in order to get to work, to his new job, he had to buy it. So look into this. So he just invented a small little engine, small little motor that can get from point A to point B without paying so much. That's really how the motorcycle came about. And people, it was so affordable, people say, hey, how can I get one of them? He made it so affordable that he think he was going to become a very big name in the motorcycle industry. He kept the main thing, He improved on it, bigger motor, faster speeds. Some might say it was not, I like to work upon that. So he never stayed away from what he wanted. So he moved from engines for bikes into cars and several other aspects. The third and last example I'm going to use are the Wright brothers. The Wright brothers. People heard of the Wright brothers? Yep. Everybody should. That's how you get from one country to another. Yet they become a big famous, that's how I want to be known. I want to be known as a big famous airplane inventor. You know? They were curious. They found something they wanted to do so passionate that they just kept on and they failed. They failed so much and people ridiculed them and they laughed them, but they keep focused, keep the main thing. One day, stories, they were sitting so frustrated and they saw a bird fly. And according to the stories, they saw how the tail tipped, that's how they kept the flow. And it hit them. Oh, this is how we flow. And that's how the plane came about. Because they kept the main thing, the main thing. They never deviated. They never said, we're going to try, okay, this is this, we're interested. No, this is what I'm going to do. Now, it's not the same that if you try one and you fail and it's not going on the way, you're going to find something that's your niche. That's how the pet rock came about. Was heard of the pet rock. And there's a very successful guy. Glue, that's how the glue came about. I mean, stickies, I'm sorry, sticky. They wanted this, the inventor to come about a different type of glue. And so frustrated, he just said, okay, put a piece of paper, put it there. He said, okay, it's sticky. They call them stickies. So it's not to say that your invention, it's not that you're going to give up, but please keep the main thing, the main thing. So in conclusion, when you start something that you're passionate about, yes, be a professional, be the best you can keep the main thing, because all others will be added. Everything else will come.
It's amazing. My name is actually Wilbur Wright. Because I used to call myself Willie, but my name is actually Wilbur Wright. And when you tell the story about the airplane, I actually went to Chicago and I actually saw the original plane. So when we were saying, I could just picture just being like. So thank you so much. Right now, we're going to have the table topic portion of this meeting, and for this, we're going to have Jeanette, she is a rock star. Let's give her a round of applause.
Good evening, Toastmasters and fellow guests. Today is my favorite part of table topics. Is where you have the opportunity to do extemporaneous speaking, impromptu speaking, which is the type of speaking we probably do most of the time. Because how often do you have to give a prepared speech? And when you do, it's prepared, and you practice it. But there are a lot of times when you ask to give your opinion on something you know nothing about right on the spot, and you want to sound intelligent, right? Well, you can practice that. You can practice it right here. So the theme today is the challenge of change. I just graduated with my doctorate in organizational leadership, which is about change. And one of my favorite books lately is this one. It's the Encyclopedia of Positive Questions. And it focuses on the appreciative inquiry idea of looking at what's positive and what's good about an organization and what the stories that create positive experiences. So I'm going to focus on the questions from this book today, and I hope that you'll appreciate it. So let's start with the first one. Oh, okay, so you have 1 to 3 minutes to speak, the minimum time being 1 minute. He'll have the yellow card at 2:30 and the red card at 3, and then you'll have 30 seconds to wrap it up, and then I'll clap you off. You should have to stay up here for at least 1 minute. I will not let you leave this area for 1 minute. Okay, you can do it. I promise you can do it. So let's start with the first question. When have you been involved in a group that kept its eyes on the prize, that maintained that let's do it attitude? When were you part of a group that really was focused, right? Kind of like what Miguel was talking about. And I'm going to ask Joe. That's the process I'll use. I'll ask a question, you can talk to think about it, and then I'll call it.
All right. I was thinking, as you asked that question, that the first thing that came to mind was actually travel for me. When I was living in Spain, when I was living abroad in college, I remember I had 2 great friends that I made. It was the one time that I felt like the it's the three of us. I was in a group where everyone had the same idea about how they wanted to tackle their time. And so we planned it out. We spent 2 weeks traveling throughout Italy. And it was probably the best time of my life. It wasn't a business, but it was something that I look back on very fondly. And I felt like it was part of a team, and these are some of my best friends until today. So that's. Oh, my green card?
Yeah, sorry.
That was a minute. How long? Okay. So in fact, a number of years later, I went down to Ecuador with one of these friends. And we had the same process where we got to travel in Ecuador and we went to Colombia. And the time is not going. But again, so
No, it's okay.
Well, is there a second part of that question?
Oh, yeah. Well, so when has been a time when you were, let's do it at 2 because of this approach you achieved a great deal? Are you straight up for that?
So now I know how much.
Yeah, you're off the. A minute is longer than you think, right? A good tactic for that, now that Joe's off the, I can tell you what politicians do. So if you don't know what to say, you don't know what that question is, instead of answering the question you got, answer the question you wish you got. So find a segue and then find another story, which you actually did really well. It was good, it was a really good job, so thank you for that. Okay, the next question is to describe a time when you were involved in a participatory decision-making process. That means everybody was participating in the team to make the decision and everyone felt respected. You were on a team, you made a decision together, everybody felt good about that. See if you can describe a time when that happened in your life. And I'm going to ask Roberto.
So I'll take advantage of the time to ask you what.
When you're part of a team where they're making a decision together and everybody felt respected.
I can recall a time when I was in El Salvador in the 90s, probably 1993. We started a foundation to help people in the rural areas. And it was really like the first foundation of this type. It was entrepreneurial in nature, not some government or other type of foundation where people, they build it, but they profit from it. They make money by getting themselves big salaries. This one was like, nobody had any type of salary. We just giving back, whatever we had. And it was interesting because at that time, the war in El Salvador, the Civil War, 12 years long, had just finished. So there were guerrillas, and there were all types of very, very difficult situations to affront. And we were like very respected because we were doing something out of love for the people, love for our country, and it had a big impact in those areas that we were. In education, in infrastructure, and also in health. And that was it. And it was really, really effective. So thank you very much.
Excellent, very good. Okay, and the part of the book that the chapter is that's taken from is actually teamwork. So that's a lot of these questions, that's the theme of these questions. Okay, the next question was, what has been a high point in your career when you really honed in on your self-discipline, right? You doing really well, really strong. You should have that question. Okay, then what has been a high point in your career when you honed in on your own self-discipline? Gary, you're welcome.
Easy on the caffeine.
Hello everyone, my name is Gary Stephen Arias, and I can relate to this question. This was the moment. Let me get the EVGs out. Okay. When I was in high school, in 2002, I studied e-commerce. I wanted to be an internet boy, internet child, a little whiz kid. So what I did was for 10 years I studied, and I was obsessed and had a lot of passion for internet marketing. In 2012, I got the opportunity to be the director of online sales for this fantastic company called Park Avenue Food Science. Now, the reason why this was a pivotal moment in my career was because when the guy hired me, he didn't hire me, he hired me for the knowledge, for the skills that I acquired, that I learned. So at that moment, I said, wow, actually, someone didn't just hire me just for me, someone actually hired me because I actually mastered something, I actually learned something. And so, Jenna, can you put your Keep the main thing, I forgot what the main thing was.
So a high point in your
I mean, let me start again, please. Can I start again?
you're going to have something.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Guys, just forget about what I just did. Give me the redemption. Let me go back. Let me go back. Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Gary Stephen Arias. I've been doing internet marketing for 10 years, and where I honed in on my skills, on my internet marketing skills in 2012 with this company called Park Avenue Food Science hired me for my internet marketing abilities. At that moment, I actually honed into my skills, and I couldn't believe that I was actually getting paid for a skill that took me 10 years to master. And that was the moment when I honed into my skills and keep the main thing. Forgot the main thing.
Okay, so thinking about that, your career, when you realized that you were really doing good and you honed in on the self-discipline skills, what are you doing to maintain that now? You've identified that maybe waking up early in the morning is just going to get what you're going to do. What is it that you're doing to maintain self-discipline to be successful? And I'm going to ask Justin.
Good afternoon, everyone. Justin Siders. This is my first Toastmasters, and I hadn't even really heard of Toastmasters before, so thank you. Good welcome. Good start. I guess to really to keep what I'm doing, I'm a real estate attorney. Just opened my own firm earlier this year, and what I do, basically, how I'm here today is that before the week starts, every Sunday, I go through different networking events or networking groups that I'm a part of. Browse the internet. I found this one on Eventbrite, looked it up, it seemed useful to me. And that's kind of what I'm doing right now. There's two people in my firm, myself. I consider myself more the business development attorney of the group. I go out, I do this, I find like-minded people. I'm a part of the B&I group, Coconut Grove, Chamber of Commerce, the Coral Gables, Chamber of Commerce, and I try to get out my name, the firm, what we do, which is real estate, title work, foreclosure defense, really anything that has to do with residential real estate. And I try to get our name out, Snyder Trabelli. My partner, David Trabelli, he's more in the office doing the work. So again, every week what I do is I try to find events and things that I think will be beneficial to us, that will help us grow. So far, we've I think, been doing pretty well. We opened in February. We're actually thinking about opening a second office in Knoxville, Tennessee later on this year, which I think is a good sign. So thank you all for letting me come, and hope to see you guys again.
Yes, you should shake hands with somebody off the stage. That's great. Excellent. Okay, let's see. Moving on. What qualities in a team that you have now, a diverse team? Okay, describe a time when you were part of a diverse team that benefited from that diversity. It should be an easy question to answer within your mind, but when it benefited from having a lot of different personalities around, and you can ask, oh yeah. Okay, so when were you part
My name is Claudia Valdez. It's my first time. Alex told me about Toastmasters, so thank you. Okay, so the first time that I worked was in Minnesota. I lived there for 7 years. I worked for this company. It's an American company. I was the only Latin person there. So imagine me coming from Colombia, getting there, and I'm like, okay, I have to bring all my knowledge to see what we can do in this company. So from down there, so we start hiring more culture, more different people, more Hispanic, and so I think that was one of my best challenge and my best thing to do for the company, and I know it's, for what I heard, it's a great company doing that, and they're giving back to the Hispanic community.
Great, thank you. Okay, so the next question is, tell me about a time when you had a really great working experience with somebody that was completely different. I lived overseas for about 20 years in the Middle East. In a lot of ways, very different from you, but I learned so much from those experiences. So think back about a time when you had a working experience with somebody that was completely different, and how was that? And I'm gonna ask Natalia, sorry. Really I'm gonna down to it in one minute. That's the question. All right.
Okay, so I'm Natalia. My first time here. Thank you, Carl. I had no idea I was going to speak. I currently don't work, and the only jobs I really had was waitress. So I did work with many people from all over, but being in a restaurant environment, I can't come up with something that is challenging. I mean, it's a restaurant. And then after that, I worked for a uniform company. It was corporate America. I was the only Hispanic, but I was selling uniforms. Nothing really challenging, so I don't know how to answer your question because I was somebody different that you had to work. In Miami, I dealt with Latinas, so every time I would be in college, I would have a project. I usually stick to my client, and I would, deal with Colombians. There wasn't really much I had to do. So, but what I'm doing now, I'm a full-time mom. I haven't worked for 2.5 years. The last job I had was at that uniform company. And I'm here because I'm trying to network. And thanks to Carl, I'm getting to see what everybody does. And I do want to go back to the work field, so if anybody's interested, you can hire me. Thank you.
So now, as you can see, like I said, these are all kind of about teamwork questions. The next question is, describe the best, most winning teamwork you have ever seen or been a part of. Okay, describe the time when you were part of really strong teamwork, and I'm going to ask Sophia. It's great when you walk really far and you think about the answer. When you guys got the team, a really good team. They work well.
My name is Sophia, and it's my second time here. And when I hear this question, the first thing that comes to my mind is the company that I'm working right now, that is Keller Williams Realty. I've been working with this company for about 5 years, and it's just an amazing experience of the teamwork. I am very control freak, so for me to be working as a team, it is really hard. I did also organizations that is called ALC, and we have a lot of events for the community. So one of the events that we have was giving back to the community, and it was very successful. It was an amazing day, and the day was amazing just because I have an amazing team. I think that every single successful job or event that we do in our life, it has to definitely involved with the team that you have working with. So that is what it's all about. And that's it. Thank you.
Excellent. Okay, so we have one more, and we're going to say, what can you do to encourage teamwork in a group that maybe is kind of losing motivation? Okay, what can you do to encourage teamwork in a group that's losing motivation? I'm going to ask Paul.
Hello, everyone. I've been in the jewelry diamond industry for about 30 years. And I'm now conducting seminars to all the jewelry store owners and people that own jewelry store chains because their sales are down. And I'm here trying to find what is the possibility of what's creating the sales to go down. So I go to their jewelry stores. The staff doesn't have any idea who I am. And right away, they make me feel like I'm in the pizza place. Because they go, can I help you? And I'm like, no, just looking. And I'm just looking, no one ever comes to me. And I walk out. And I give it over to the owner, and I says, that's the reason why your sales are low. Your salespeople are very amateur, and they're not very professional with attending the clients, the potential clients walking into the store. So he tells me what they should do. Create communications. Don't act like salespeople. If they're walking into a jewelry store, it's because they're out making a very personable purchase, either of engagement or some beautiful, exciting time that's going through, or some graduation, and they're using the jewelry as a symbol of their love, using the jewelry as a symbol of their success. So get to find out what are people's missions. What is the basis of what they're looking for? And once you find the reason why they're browsing around, and you make a friend, you make a sale. Thank you.
Okay, so now that was our table topic section of the meeting, which is excellent. The next part of our meeting, and I have to, please forgive me because I didn't clear this with Willie, our Toastmaster today, is the evaluation point. We usually have a general evaluator for that one. I forgot to sign this. Oh, Stephanie. Perfect. So Stephanie is our general evaluator, so I'm going to turn it over to her to handle this part.
Thank you so much. So today, the evaluation portion of our meeting, we're going to hear the speech evaluator give an evaluation of all of our today's prepared speeches, and then we're going to get reports from our functionaries, and then I'm going to give my general evaluation of the entire meeting. So each speech evaluator is going to speak for 2 to 3 minutes. So our first evaluator is Mr. Alex Ocampo, and he's going to be evaluating Ms. McCollum's speech.
Hello, good evening. Okay, fellow Toastmasters, and especially Andres, I would like to use the sandwich technique. I have to go first to talk about 3 things that I like of your speech, and then 2 areas that I think you can improve. I couldn't find it, but okay. And finally, one thing that I will never forget about your speech. Okay, so quickly, I like from your speech the structure because it was very good. It was just like one big intro, okay. And the second thing was develop your idea, and just the close or the conclusion. I think the structure was a very good thing. Okay, the second one and the third one, that's about just points. Okay, I think for example, something like be busy is not be working on something. Okay, it was something like your idea. And I really like that because we are entrepreneurs and we feel that we need to be busy, okay? So we go to the office and we just pass the time just from 9 to 5. And maybe at 5 we feel sometimes that we have done get the goal. So I think this is very important. Try to be not busy, just put the focus in what you have to do. And the other thing that I think is really important is delegate. Okay, we are entrepreneurs, and I feel that we have to do a lot of things by ourselves. So, as you said, delegate is the key. I think it's very important at this point. So, I would like to mark it. Okay. 2 areas that I think we can improve. Just I couldn't find it, but something is about the closing. It was not so. I think it was not so clear. Maybe when we have data to give to the people, maybe it will be a good idea try to write it down, okay? Because I think it will be more clear. And finally, one thing that I really never forget about is outsourcing gives you freedom. I think this is the key for us as entrepreneurs. So I think your message was very valuable. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. The second evaluator will be Mr. Carl Smith, and he's going to be evaluating Angel's. Oh, here we go.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests. How's everybody doing this evening? Great. Good. Everyone happy to be here? Yes. Great people. Love it. Okay. All right. So for this evening, I have the privilege of being able to evaluate my friend, Mr. Miguel. And he came here earlier and he got to speak to you about don't forget to make the main thing the main thing. And I really thought that he did a great job talking about his topic. I really love the fact that when he was speaking, he had a way to really connect with the crowd in a way that he was able to use his body language, holding the mic in a firm position, not moving the mic all over the place, keeping his body language firm but also open. Open the crowd, and as he pivoted and turned around to speak to the different individuals at the different sides of the room, he used his right hand to really communicate with the crowd so that he could bring some type of energy and some type of relation as he would make his points. And so I thought that was really good. I felt that his tonality was fantastic. When I basically speak to the crowds or when I teach people about public speaking, I always tell them how important it is to be able to think of your speech as almost a melody when it comes to making music. And there were some points of his speech where he was speaking and he speak very low and he was speaking very slow. When he talked about some of the challenges that some of the people in the stories that he gave had to go through, he was speaking very slow and very low. And then when he was trying to emphasize on a certain point, he would talk about, don't forget to make the main point the main point. So I thought his use of words, the tonality, the body language was done in a way that was extremely professional, extremely on point. Another thing that I felt he did extremely well was what I just said, the use of the stories. Because one thing that you guys are going to have to realize as you guys become distinguished speakers is that facts tell, stories sell. And so it's one thing to just talk about a point. Don't forget to make the main thing the main thing. And then you do this, and then you do that, and then you do this, and then you do that, and then you do this, and then you do that. But you also have to realize that most people are going to tune out as you speak. And for the most part, most people are only going to retain about 10% of whatever it is that you're speaking about. But you got to understand that when you bring in a storyline, and you have a plot, and you have a main character, and you have some type of challenge or some type of triumph, people's minds start to tune in as if they were watching a movie. It was almost as if you could see Steve Jobs going through his situation and not wanting to be the greatest brand in the world, but thinking about making the main thing the main thing, and just focus on constant never-ending improvement. Let me improve this, and let me improve that. Let me learn about my task, and let me get better. The same thing with the Colonel. The same thing when he talked about, I think it was Honda. Was it Honda? I didn't hear. It was Honda. Yamaha. No, we talked about how Honda used to work for Yamaha. So, Andre used to work for Yamaha and got fired, and then decided to start off his own thing. So I thought he did extremely well tying the stories together to be able to prove his point. And a few things that I feel that he maybe could improve on is just maybe giving examples of how people will get off track when it comes to the main thing. So he talked about making the main thing, but if you could have said about how Steve Jobs was presented with thousands of opportunities after he made the iPhone become the #1 most successful phone that had ever sold in history, and how he got offered opportunities to basically start with television and everything. All in all, he did a fantastic job. Great job, so thank you guys so much. So much.
Okay, so if Mr. Angel, can you tell us the time report?
Okay. The speakers. First speakers, Andres. It was 7:29, really good. Second one was Miguel, 7:27. In tabletop, Joseph, right? Joseph. Joseph?
Yeah, about 20 seconds.
No. 107. A little bit more. And Roberto was 130. Then Gary, 125. Justin, 124. Claudia, 105. Natalia, 116. Sophia, 58 seconds. And Paul, 106. That's what they were talking. Alex has a, yeah, 250 was okay. And Carl, 332. It's a little bit over. And said that, everybody was.
Can you please give us the outcome report?
Okay, here we go. Andres, 2 butts and 4 so's. Miguel, 3 so's. Joe, 3 so's and 2 ums. Robert, 1 and 1 so, very good. Yeah. Justin, perfect score. Round of applause, please. Yeah. Claudia, 3 so's. Natalie,
Natalia.
oh, I'm sorry, Natalia. 1 butt, 2 butts, 1 so, and 1 very good. Sophia? Oh, Sophia. 4 ums, 2 so's, and 2 ands, very good. Paul? Oh, Paul? 4 ands and 2 so's, very good. Alex Ocampo? 4 ands, 3 ums, 2 so's, and 1 butt. Carl? 2 so's, 2 ands, and 1 Stephanie? 1 very good.
So for my general evaluation of the meeting, I think we had a great meeting. I think we were able to give a lot of our new guests opportunity to speak and to learn with their speeches. And I think all the prepared speeches did a wonderful time. Time, I think we did relatively close. That's something that we work on all the time. And other than that, I would now like to return control of our meeting to our Toastmasters.
Well, the next part of the show is the Toastmasters presents awards, but because we're still in the process of chartering, we don't have any awards. That is something that soon to be, hopefully, in July, we'll start the awards part of the program and also start formalizing to get this up to another level. Before I hand it out to the president, I just wanted to show you that the agenda also has a section in the back. There's going to be some activities for business development if you'd like more information. Ray is the one that's going to be working on developing on that. So if you have any further questions on that, you can go to him. And also, now I'm going to hand it out to the president, who's going to be talking about membership and also what we're going through right now.
Okay, fantastic.
All right.
Thank you very much. Okay, very quickly, So how many of you see value in this opportunity to have business communication skills, to have the opportunity? So I encourage everybody to really seek out for another people that actually are out there looking to get the space to really improve their communications. This is a great opportunity that we have available, and thank you, Sher, for facilitating this venue. And Ariel, she's not around here, but she, if you have any questions about how to facilitate, get access to this facility, you feel welcome to, feel free to go talk to Ariel anytime, okay? So in all order for you, I would like to bring Paris to discuss about what's up right now and this week. And we have some special events, some special opportunities for you guys. So it's really important to you to really understand what's going on in this week. Thank you, Ray.
Thank you, Andres. I'm going to be really, really brief because we only have a few minutes to get going, and we appreciate Nanny Sher letting us be here, but they do ask us to get at 8 o'clock. So I'm going to announce this Wednesday we have a business success event going on. I can email everybody and message you guys as long as you guys checked in today. The information that's this Wednesday. It's going to be at the EB Hotel by the Miami International Airport from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's a business success workshop. I'm going to be speaking there myself, and we're going to have a lot of other great speakers. Bill Walsh, America's small business expert, some of you guys may know him. He's going to be teaching on the 7 key drivers of how to build a 7-figure business. So if you guys are interested, this Wednesday from 10 to 2. Also, this Friday, we're doing our socially infused networking event. It's a happy hour that we do for our Toastmasters group and all the other area Toastmasters groups, South Beach, Brickell, Wynwood. So it's going to give you guys the opportunity to network, make some connections, and meet other people from other clubs. So it's going to be this Friday in Brickell at Baru from 6 to 8 p.m. So it's Brickell this Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. So I'm going to send out the information to everybody. If you didn't check in, make sure you see Alex or Gabby. Make sure that they got your information so I can send you the email with all the rest of the info.
Can you clarify that our event or Toastmasters event in general?
It's open to all Toastmasters and friends.
Who's the organizer?
I am.
Okay. Some other club.
No. We're hosting, but it's open to all Toastmasters and all of Area 51. And you guys are obviously welcome to bring your friends. And we have some happy hour specials, food specials, and it's a really nice place to get in there. All right, I'm going to pass it back over to the president. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank you very much. So to close, we would like to have an opportunity to hear from you. So any guests, Jones or Justin would like to give some suggestions, comments. How was this meeting for you? The first time to come over. Just give us some words, 30 seconds word.
Yeah, sure. I want to say that you're very non-real. And this was my second time here. I came once before. And I thought it was a great opportunity to get in front of people. I want to look at this video and see how I did, how many thumbs and and all of that to make sure you improve it. And that's about it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Justin, would you like to say something from there?
Yeah.
What?
I think it's very beneficial. I can see it for me personally. Holding the skill, public speaking off the cuff, is a very practical skill in my business, probably everyone's business. And I think my favorite thing about it is how timed it is, and you're in and out, and you get a little card to tell you when to finish.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much. Always acknowledge that actually we start a little bit late, and I want to acknowledge that we are pretty much finishing. We want to always start on time, finish on time. That's actually we commit and we promise. So we have another guest online, but unfortunately, because of the time and because of technical difficulties, we won't be able to present them on the screen. So all that being said, I really has been my honor, my privilege to have you. And another thing is that our next meeting will be July 18th. Okay.
But we'll send you an email with all the information. So
Yes.
remember.
Come see me if you want to be on the agenda before you go on to the
Okay. So anything else? Anything that you want to add? Okay, fantastic. So with that being said, we officially finish this meeting. Thank you so much for coming.